Man, I love demos. I have nostalgia for the days of demo discs and the days when you would get a little sample of some other project whenever you buy a game, or you'd be able to hop into one game that you rented from Blockbuster or Video Warehouse and check out the little demos that were included with that game. There were even times when you got a little demo with your Happy Meal from a fast food joint. I miss those days, but I'm happy to say that I have been seeing a growth in the availability of demos. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about using demos as a developer and just some theories I have about it and when to have one and so on and so on. And I want to just talk about a few demos that I played this week that I had a nice time with. And when I say play, I dip my toes in. It's a demo. I don't get to play it for that long. I've checked out Vampire Crawlers, something called Dawn Folk, I think. And, what was the other one? Subliminal. So we'll talk about all that. Welcome to Game, Develop, Repeat. I am your host, Chris. And as always, thanks for joining me. Let's start with the games that I just played demos of over the past week and a half, and then we'll talk a little bit about some demo nostalgia, if we get to it. We'll see. I just tried one called Dawn Folk. It's kind of a minimalist town building, fight off the darkness, square grid demo game thing. It's cute. Here's what you need to know, all right? Forget all the technical descriptions of it. It's cute. It's got a little helper tutorial narrator guy who reminds me of Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. You're fighting off the darkness with light and you're building a town. It's top down. It's sort of grid town building. It's nice. I find it immediately charming, and I just happen to not be in the mood for it right this moment. So I haven't picked it up yet. I might play the demo a little bit more if I have time, or if it strikes my fancy, but I recommend checking it out if that appeals to you at all, because it does seem quite charming. I think it's a solo developer based on how the trailer is presented. I did not dig that much deeper into it. Now, here's another one. Vampire Crawlers. Now, this one I want to... you know what? Let's save this for last, because I have the most interesting development thoughts about this demo's existence. But it's by the Vampire Survivors folks. It's called Vampire Crawlers. So we'll talk about that next. Subliminal, creepy little horror game. So uncomfortable. So good. So not something I ever would have bought and tried without trying the demo first. I've not purchased it. I'm not going to buy it, but it almost got me. I really don't like scary horror games. I don't like clenching my jaw in that way. They freak me out too much. I almost like them. And the 20, 30 minutes that I spent with this was very compelling. And if you like a spooky experience with a little bit of low-key, how do I put it? Psychological horror, a little bit of equating your memories or your childhood trauma or experiences and whatever else to a spooky room that you have to navigate, you should check it out. I mean, that it is a hard one to describe, but it is so worth playing the demo, because you can play the demo for free. Other benefits of the demo is I can see if it works on my system, right? Oh man, that's a nice thing to have, especially now that most things are working on my system. But this is a key benefit to having demos, because sometimes you hear the full description of the game, you hear everything about it, and you go, oh, that sounds amazing, and your friends go, you're going to love this, and then you play it, and you don't love it, and you're kind of upset about it, But if you just play the demo, you're kind of open to it. You're not as invested. You start it out, you go, you know what? It's not for me. And no hard feelings. And then you don't get the urge to review bomb it, which we'll talk about more later. But I do think I'd love to see a study on this. And there's all sorts of weird correlations here, but I'd like to just see like informal research on it, and maybe even formal. That would be nice, a little market research kind of thing, into whether or not demos prevent negative reviews. Because I assume that they do. I really think that they do. I think there's a lot of reasons why that would happen. One of those reasons, though, and I think this could be a confounding factor, I think there's a tendency for developers who care more about their game and their art rather than the marketing of it to be more likely to make a demo. Like, I think there's more of an incentive for somebody who goes, I really just want people to try this game and play it, and if it's for them, then I want them to pay me. Like, that person is probably more likely to make a demo than the person who's like, a demo might keep people from buying it, and I'm just in it for the money, and if you want to try it, you have to buy it. So maybe that's why I've kind of noticed this pattern of if a game has a demo, it tends to have more positive reviews. But I think the other side of it is like, if you play the demo and you don't like it, you don't need to review it, and you don't buy it. So, I don't know. Just some thoughts. Now let's talk about Vampire Crawlers, because this one, my own emotional experience of trying this demo interested me a lot. I played Vampire Survivors. I like it. And then I saw that they made Vampire Crawlers, and I went, why? Huh? That doesn't seem in line with what's going on with Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors is like, boom, 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 let's go. You make some choices, sure, but certainly not tactical. And most of the time when we're looking at a card deck-building game, it's extremely tactical. And, I see a little connection here, but man, this could be a huge flop in terms of gameplay, or it could be good, and I just don't know, man. I was like, this is not a day one buy for me. This kind of looks like somebody just grabbed the name and carried it over and went like, oh, people like Vampire Survivors, what if they like the deck building version of it, And I just was not that invested in the idea. And then my brother texted me about it, and I was like, I have no idea how I feel about this. Literally, I texted him, I don't know how I feel about that. And then I went, ooh, free demo, right? And so then I loaded it up, and I tried it for 10, 20 minutes. Just a real quick boom, 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 what's going on with this? And I went, oh, this is good. They did a good job with this. This is cool. There's some real potential here. They made this compelling gameplay loop with a little bit of exploration in it, and it's kind of nice. It's got a little bit of the Vampire Survivors feel to it, but it's got a little dungeon crawler thing going on. It references the original game, but not in a way where it's really annoying. And there's a lot to like there. A lot of stuff that I did not think I was going to like, but I was willing to give it a shot because there was a free demo. And that rules. And I really like it. I almost want to see, so this is what's really interesting about the Vampire Crawlers. The game is not out, the demo is. And I wonder if this is just a Steam Next Fest thing. I didn't see a release date for the game. Maybe that's just me not doing my due diligence, but it got me theory crafting. What about just putting out a demo, getting a bunch of feedback, and then incorporating it into the final product? Kind of good. Don't call it an alpha. Don't give it early access. Don't call it a beta. Don't make people pay to do it, because they're doing work for you. They're giving you feedback on your game. Why have all of these weird mixed incentives? Why not say, hey guys, here's the deal. You get to try my game. You give me feedback if you can. And then I get a little advertising. You get a little knowledge about the game. We all benefit from this. Nobody's being too greedy about it. You don't have to pay me for early access. I don't have to have so many different mixed up incentives about who I'm pleasing because you already paid for it and blah, blah, blah. I can just take your feedback. I can run with it. And you can just go, okay, it was a demo, whatever. Thanks for the free access. That was nice. Can we do that? I like that. And I think that's a really nice alternative. I think that's a really nice step forward. And I think this is also indicative of a little bit of market saturation. Have you noticed how many good games there are right now? Every time I go to Steam, I go, what are these high quality looking games with positive reviews with, like, 100 to between 100 to 1,000 positive reviews? Looks really good. People reviewing it love it. There's no immediate red flag on it, and I just go, "Oh, that looks nice." I've been seeing a lot of that lately, where I go, "Oh, somebody put some real heart and love and charm into this game." And I don't know who they are, but I love that they did this, and it gets me excited, and it also makes me go, "Oh my god, we are in a weird place in terms of development, because that is almost overwhelming to see that many really cool looking games coming out so quick, so regularly." And with that being said, let's talk about game development, shall we? Here's my pitch for when you should make a demo and when you definitely should not. Here's my you definitely shouldn't make a demo situation. Your game is not bringing anything particularly new to the table. It doesn't confuse people in any way. It's just like a nice execution of something that already exists and is a very short experience. Like if you got like a 1.5, 2 hour experience that's just like pretty well executed, but it's pretty typical, and it's not like there's no reason why people would hesitate to buy it if that is the thing that they're interested in, and it's reasonably priced. It's like there's a point where you just go, yeah, the people who like this are going to hear about it from other people who have tried it, and I'll give out a few copies to this person and that person. We'll see how it goes. Or I'll make it cheap and they can buy it and return it. Like, I don't need to make a demo of this because the game is so short and the experience it's so obvious what this game is that I don't really need to give people a free sample. But if you got something that is baffling, where people go and they go, "Why are you making that? What's going on here?" Like when Deep Rock Galactic started making a Vampire Survivors style game, I went, huh? But they had a demo and I tried it and I went, okay, not for me. It was a very early access demo, so maybe it got better, and I think based on the reviews, I think it did. But like the Vampire Survivors making a deck building kind of crawling game, like dungeon crawling kind of thing, I was like, what in the world is this? And that is a great example of like, okay, give me a demo. If I hear about it and I go, ooh, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it sounds like you got something though, but I don't want to pay for it. I don't really know. That sounds weird. There are so many games that I want to play that look exciting and cool and whatever. So like, I'm just gonna, and you go, no, hold on, hear me out. Just take a bite, have a little taste. You're walking through Costco. They go, hey, try this chocolate. And you go, no, I'm good. I like Hershey Kisses. They're like, that's free. Try it. And you try it and you go, oh my God, why was I going to get Hershey Kisses? This is so good. What's the price? Let's go. Oh, it's a little bit more. I don't care. Give me that. Right? Like if your game, and it's got like this chocolate has like a crunch and it's a Ferrero Rocher. You've never had a Ferrero Rocher. You've just been eating Hershey Kisses and they're like, try this. And you're like, I don't know. Those are expensive. I don't want it. And they're like, just try it out, bud. You try it and you're like, oh, turns out I like this a lot more than the chocolate I've been eating. Come on. That's a demo experience. It's a game that you would not have otherwise tried, but is just close enough to something where you're like, yeah, I'm willing to try it, but I'm not going to pay for it. You crazy? Why would I pay for this? This is no. And then you try it and you go, okay, yeah, give me the whole thing. Give me it all. Give me the whole deal. Also, let's see. What else would maybe not be the greatest demo experience? Oh my God, I tried another one too. I tried this game called Morse, which is about like shooting ships, and it's a Morse code thing. And I tried it and I went, not for me. Really cool. Very cool. But the reason I was interested in it was to like learn Morse code. And as I was looking at it, I was like, this is not really going to teach me Morse code. I can just look at the symbols and it's not going to associate with the letters. So I'm not really that interested in it. But the game seemed pretty cool. It seemed pretty nice. We're really ripping through demos lately. That's kind of a big thing for me right now. If you want your game, if your game is a huge experience, right? Even if it's something pretty standard, but you're taking a different angle on it. But if it is a very big experience, ain't no harm in giving somebody a 2-hour, 3-hour demo. Like if you know that they're gonna get in there and they're gonna go, ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like this. This is interesting. If you can give them a long demo that the save carries over to the full game, this is how Dragon Quest XI got me. Dragon Quest Builders almost got me. And what was the other one? There was another game where the demo pulled me in. It might have been Fantasy Life. I don't know if that had a demo either. I think it did. Maybe. No. I don't know what the third one was. But there are games that have pulled me in by going, here is a absurd amount of content in the demo. Give it a try. See if you like it. And a lot of the times I do. And then I go ahead and pick it up. Now, if that's what you're making, give them a big old demo, you know? Now, I do think if your game has a gameplay loop in which the demo can be played as a full copy of the game, you're getting a little bit weird on the territory there. You're getting into some weird, like you got to put some strange limitations on it to keep them from playing. Like if Binding of Isaac had a demo where you could play through like the first whole, I don't know, where you could do most of a run, but it just like didn't let you have certain unlocks. That would be like tempting to just get your fill on the demo and then never buy the full game. So I think as much as I want to be like every game should have a demo, there are games that you shouldn't release a demo for, you know? There are experiences that are too short or just standard enough that you don't need to go through the trouble of a demo, but it might be nice to do it anyway. Or just, I don't know. There's just context where you look at it and you go, it's just not the right fit. You know, there's no ironclad rules to this. But I do think we can look at it and go, it would benefit me to make a demo, or look at a game and go, I wish this had a demo, man, because it was so different from what I thought it was. Like if the game is hard to communicate, the concept of the game, the whole idea of it is hard to communicate, maybe get a demo. There's one game that's been on my wish list for a while that a viewer recommended to me, and it looks very cool. It's extremely weird and abstract looking. It's called The Eternal Cylinder. And I think that's the name. And I would like to try it. I don't want to buy it. I keep looking at it and going, this looks like something I would probably love. Like I'd probably dive in on this freaking game. It looks so bizarre and so dumb and goofy. But I'm just not willing to pull the trigger because it's a little too out there. And there's too many good games out. And there's like this whole market saturation thing. And I'm going, I don't want to buy it, you know. I know I can buy it and return it within 2 hours, but I don't want to return it because I don't know. I kind of every time I return a game, I feel a little bad about it. So a demo would be amazing, and I think here's my gratitude. I'm so grateful that so many people are making demos now. And now let's jump into the nostalgia for a second here. God, I love demo discs. I think the first time I played Medieval, I think was a demo disc. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Soul Calibur. No. I'm sorry, not Soul Calibur. Soul Reaver. I think was a demo disc for me. Or a demo included in another game. There's one or two others. There might have even been a Final Fantasy game that was a demo. I don't know, but they really helped me discover amazing games as a kid in an era where I would just look at the back of a game box in a store and just go, we'll go with that. And there were 2 times that I did that, and it panned out so well for me. But for the most part, I didn't really. There's not a lot of confidence in looking at the game at the store and going, okay, I'll pick that up. Right? There's not a lot of like, oh, this will be a good experience. You kind of read the text and you go, I hope this is good. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. The weirdest ones, the ones that I picked up kind of out of nowhere, completely out of the blue, and went, this, I just have faith in this. I don't know why. Were Age of Wonders and Nox. And those games are so good. Okay, Nox, if people played it are probably going, I don't know about so good, buddy. That's the story in that game is crazy. I've talked about it before. Nox is a phenomenal game in terms of gameplay and a lot of the aesthetic too. They're just too deadpan with their humor, and it makes it not good. But it is a great game. And Age of Wonders is one of the greats. I picked that up on a whim. Saw it on a shelf, just went, oh, it has a dragon. This looks kind of cool. Judged the game by its cover and won big time. Nox I barely bought. Nox, I went in the store and talked to the guy and was like, I want something kind of like Diablo 2. And they were like, why not just play more Diablo 2? And I was like, well, I kind of want something different. And I kind of had this thing in my head of just like, I just want to like pick a cool game. And the guy at the store was like, I don't know. I was like, what about this? Is this kind of like it? And he was like, yeah, I guess. Like, he did not care to sell it to me. He was like, I don't know, man. Kind of doesn't look that good to me. And I picked it up and it rules. It has some of the coolest multiplayer of that era. To this day, it has some of the coolest multiplayer. Like, I freaking love that game's multiplayer stuff. Over the LAN, over the local area network. That stuff is good. Nox is a killer. I've talked about it before. I'm gonna stop talking about it now. Okay, you get the idea. So if you're making a game, and you think you might want to make a demo, I also think it might be just a fun experience. I want to see a demo. Ooh, Outer Wilds, the famous, incredible space exploration, not Outer Worlds, the Outer Wilds, like landing on planets and exploring and figuring out puzzles and stuff game. That had a demo. My first exposure to that game was years before it released on a demo that I picked up from just like the guy's website, like just like whoever the developer is. I just picked up something from their website and it was good and it was cool and I was excited about it and I was like, ooh, this will be interesting when it comes out. I don't know how I ended up down that rabbit hole, but I'm glad that I did. And what a cool game. Okay, that's plenty. Let's wrap this thing up. I got to get to bed. You got to get to work, probably. You're probably listening to this in the morning. Hey, Jeff, if you're still in the shower, get out of the shower. It's been like 23, 24 minutes by now. Hurry up, bud. You're going to be a lobster in there. You're going to cook, all right? Everybody else, let's wrap this up, and then I'll send you on your way. Here's your question for this week. It's very simple. This is not like a deep thought question. This is just a nostalgia bait. I just want to hear people talk about this because it's got me excited. Tell me about your favorite game demo. Steam Next Fest just finished, I think. It might still be going on. I don't know. But there were a bunch of demos, right? They might still be available. I'm bad at tracking these kind of things. Besides that, demos you played in your childhood. There's so much good stuff there. Tell me about one of your favorite demos. And whether or not you ended up playing the full game. Get in the Discord. There's a link in the description. Should have a Discord invite. I hope that thing still works. People have joined. It should still work. I've had people join relatively recently. So hop in there. You can also email me at anxiousbuddhagames@gmail.com if you're not feeling quite as social. Personally, I've always been somebody who shies away from joining communities. I don't know why, but I kind of join and like silently observe. I think a lot of people do that, but it's nice to join the conversation. So, if you want to just silently observe, or if you just want to send an email to me individually, feel free. that's everything I've got for you. Thanks again for joining me. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, get out there, have some stuff. What the heck? Get out there, make some stuff, have some fun playing demos, and have fun with it. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.